This is a video I didn't plan on making, only because, I don't know, I just didn't think I would. But I decided, you know what, actually, let me actually do make a video about it, because it was I think it's a good thing to talk about. And it's also a thing that I haven't necessarily talked about quite. I've mentioned it like a few times in my videos, but never dedicated a video to it. So I said, why not? It's been a good year for me. Let me talk about it. So, college year 2024 slash 2025. So, um, to give a timeline, I started my PLC, which is called, or known as a post-leaving cert course. They're level 5 courses. You get a QQY for it. I started my college journey technically started in 2021, but it was just a PLC, a level 5, which is just usually a year to 2 years. I think level 6 is 2 years, level 5. I think it depends on the course and it depends on the level. I'm not exactly sure. So, I have a QQI, and that's in portfolio preparation because I didn't make a portfolio because I done my leave insert during COVID. So I was already learning from home because I'm asthmatic and of course COVID. It's not good for the respiratory system, so I did everything from home. And I was like, I'm not putting more stress on myself. I'm already under enough already. So I decided I'm just gonna do a PLC, which is what I did. And then that PLC was that the portfolio I was making was to get me into a bachelor's course, to get a bachelor's degree. And the course I went into was design for film. I only lasted about a year and like a month or two in that course. Um, there's a lot of reasons behind it. It's like basically whenever I talk about it, it's like an onion because there's so many layers to it. First off, I was working at the time. I was in my old job. I'm out of that job now because it just went to shit. With management and stuff. So whatever. But I was working at the time, and I didn't really necessarily want to start making money, especially because I had a bit more expenses at the time. I had started testosterone, and I was on other medications as well. Um, so I didn't really necessarily want to part with that. Um, to get a little bit of money in my back pocket. The course became very demanding, and not to mention, I was going through a really bad art burnout at the time, and just block in general because I was in a really shitty relationship, that was contributing major factors to my mental health and my focus and basically everything, and to that burnout as well. And the thing was that I just fell out of love with the course. Um, Basically the course was split up into 5 ends, and you chose what you wanted to specialize in at the end of first year. There was visual effects, costume design, prop making, makeup, and production design. And I went into production design. Production design involves a lot of maths and CAD. And if you know what CAD is, it is a pain in the fucking ass. And I could not grasp it, not to mention the tutor who taught it. I was explaining my situation like, hey, I'm also working at the time. I'm also working. And I've missed a few classes. I need a bit of help. And he was like, how is that my issue? And then later on left the class to go and help out some other students when he was meant to be teaching a class. Which he did often. And so I left. So I ended up having multiple mental breakdowns, who went back to my art mentor, and who was the teacher of my PLC. And he basically went through it with me, and he was like, okay, I think deferring might be your best option. Which, if you don't know what deferring is basically taking a year out and basically to figure stuff out and deferring a place in your reserving a place in a course. Um, so considering I could not focus on anything, none of my credits could pull over, so I couldn't immediately transfer to a new course, which is why I deferred. There's a thing called advanced entry, which is the way I went. Um, I ended up talking with the art film of uh, the art film aspect of the actors. Because I had sent in a portfolio of pretty much everything, and they were like, okay, 2D, there's a lot of spaces in 2D that have already been taken, and with 3D, we didn't really see any 3D works, but 4D, considering you're in film, art film probably will be where you would like to specialize in. And I honestly just did not care. And I said, well, yeah, I mean, my other course was going to be film. If I and my college I go to is like a film school. So they were like, okay, that's probably what you're going to be specializing in, just judging from your portfolio that you gave us. And so I deferred and came back September of 2024, last year. Long-winded thing I wanted to explain because I never explained it before, so, and also just also explaining because I understand a lot of my viewers are also not Irish, so we don't know how the Irish education system works, so I was just explaining those things. Because I don't know if those terminologies are like the exact same in all countries, like especially like things like deferrals and stuff. But yeah, that's basically what my shit was. How my art school journey has been, and yeah. So art film. So there's two slight different sides of the coin with art film. There's obviously the film part. There's also photography. Photography has been the first thing I actually grabbed a handle of, mainly because the tutor for photography, he's probably my favorite tutor. He's literally so sweet. I see him as like probably my successor to my art mentor when I was doing my QQI. So yeah, he's probably my favorite tutor. And I connected with him immediately. He was also the guy who I talked to when I was showing him my original portfolio when I was deferring. But yeah, photography was the very first thing I kind of got a grasp of. Not exactly sure how I grasped it more easily, or that was the first thing I gravitated towards, because I would never really consider myself a photographer whatsoever. But now it's probably my favorite aspect of the course, and something I really enjoy. And that was the first thing that I initially got the hold of. When it came to my editing class, I've been editing for nearly 10 years. The only thing is that I wasn't really well versed in DaVinci because DaVinci is industry standard. It was nice to have tutorials on that and to understand it, but I was able to grasp it, or seem to grasp it much quicker than most of my class, so I was able to kind of help them out with stuff because I've been editing for so long. Those Linkin Park, fucking Dragon Ball Z, and SAO edits really came in handy for being a depressed teenager. so, um, yeah, I was able to kind of grasp that easily, and it was still is probably one of my favorite things to do is editing. But my only problem with editing is I can get so engrossed into it that I will like be editing for like hours, forget to save, and then like lose all my progress. Which happened on my first project. It made me want to die, but I actually didn't lose anything. It auto-saved, so thank DaVinci for that, because I was about to start crying because I was editing for 4 hours. But I was fine. It was all good in the end. But yeah, that was really cool. Then when it came to actual like film, if this was Infamous, my second project, I fucking hate it. Um, I was an idiot. Did not. I a big part of this actually was I was not confident with the camera. I was really nervous with the camera because I have this like weird thing where I was like, I'm gonna break it. And that's just because I'm clumsy and I drop things all the time. I've dropped my phone multiple times. But to be fair, in like my nearly 23 years of life, this has been the only phone I've ever cracked. So, yeah. So, but I was still terrified of breaking the camera. Um, but I haven't done it yet, so yeah. I'm not counting my luck, to be honest. But I was really terrified of holding the camera, and now it's just more of if I get a camera, I'm like, oh my god, yes, I'm so excited getting a camera, which is actually what inspired this video. I was like, damn, I kind of actually came a long way from the start of the year. Holy shit. So, there you go, you know? Um, so, um, my second project, like my first project, I used a lot of older footage, so like I wasn't really using the camera that much. And I only had it for like a day or two. Um, my second project, getting the first amount of actual like footage was horrible because one, I didn't know how to calibrate it. Um, well, so the ISO was super fucking high. The exposure was also just fucking awful. I was also an idiot and decided to record it handheld. Don't ask why I did that. Don't ask why. I was told not to, and I didn't listen. I was so used to recording with a phone. Of course, the phone has an actual stabilizer on it. These cameras don't. It was a GH5. If anyone is wondering what I was recording with. But yeah, no, the footage was abysmal. I was genuinely embarrassed showing it because it was just fucking awful. But I had a second chance to record some better stuff, and that's what I did. And my second project actually turned out alright. I still don't like that project very often, mainly because I did not like the subject matter of what we were doing. I found it really boring, but I was like, just get through this project. But it did teach me a lot, so I am grateful for it. I just don't necessarily like the subject matter, which, funny enough, did happen to me in first year of design for film. I didn't like my finished end product, but it's not that my end product was bad this time around. It was just more of, it's not my favorite piece of work to show, but it's not a bad piece of work either. Whereas my project from first year, the design for film one, was, yeah, no, that was bad, but it did teach me a lot. So yeah, that was good. And semester one, those were for like both my film projects. They were just kind of simple little projects. City Symphony, which is basically recording like my hometown and stuff, which is why I don't have it on YouTube. And then my other one uses baby footage of me and stuff, and I don't really want to use that either. And I also just, the project isn't that good either. It's just kind of, you know, it's not my best work. But when it comes to photography, I don't remember if that, for my second project during City Symphony, if we had a photography project. We probably did, and I just don't remember it. But our first one was really, really fun, and I had a second time around to do it as well. We basically were responding to a piece of art with a photographic response. It could have been anything, whether it be music or being an actual painting, recreating a photo, whatever. I chose to do One More Light by Linkin Park. I don't necessarily know why I chose the song specifically, but I just did. I think I just liked the subject matter of the song, and I was just kind of like, alright, whatever. I ended up recreating some photos. I'll probably put those on screen because I actually don't think those photos are actually too bad. And they were pretty fun. And then I did another one for my performance art elective in semester 2, which were based off the song Labor by Paris Paloma. And yeah, that was really fun. I really enjoyed those projects. Um, and then when it came to semester two, we had plans and visualizations, which is basically just research, 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 and that was basically pretty much my entire like first part of semester two was just plans and visualization and research. Researching costume, moving image artists, that sort of thing, art film projects, that sort of thing. So I was looking at like the art film archive and stuff. Um, and also going to the National Gallery again, which is not my favorite place in the world, just because I've seen all that shit before. It's kind of boring, and I've heard the National Museum of Modern Art, also in Dublin, is not great either. So I don't know. Some of the galleries are kind of, you know. So yeah, it wasn't necessarily my favorite. And also that was the start of our film as art with the film students. It was like a collaboration module with the film students. We also had some workshops. We had some camera workshops, some sound workshops, which we weren't told about. Sorry, there's a lot of drama going on about that. I'm not gonna get into that in this video just because it's a lot and I could rant about it for days. But yeah, we also had a few others like installation workshops, and then there was a spoken word workshop, and there was a few others I can't remember because I didn't do them because I needed to buy some actual film for it, and I didn't have the money for it. So yeah, it was like a 16mm and Super 8, which low-key sucked for me because I would really like to work with a Super 8 camera, but whatever. So yeah, film was art was interesting, but I did get a lot of work out of it, and I did have a lot of fun with actually recording my stuff and editing my stuff and making something that I liked. And of course, that was that film that I will leave a link in the description if you haven't watched it. And then that was made. That was put in an exhibition. So yeah, and I had my first exhibition this year. So yeah, it was really cool. I am excited for third year. I am still a little bit worried about placement though, but I'm gonna try figure that out over the summer. Like looking for placements and stuff, because you can either go on Erasmus or you can go on placement. I don't have the money to go on Erasmus, so it's placement for me. And so it's basically working for a whole semester, which, yeah, I don't really mind doing. I just have to, look around and see what will give me placement. So, yeah. It was a very interesting year because college, for the past, 2 years, I was really in college, from 2021 to 2023, which is roughly about a year and a bit, because I only started in September of 2021. I really given it, actually, it's really 2 years. We're not great. There was a lot of reasons as to why, but this was the first college year where I was actually able to enjoy myself and make things I actually liked and make things I actually wanted to make. I was able to focus actually on my studies and not have to worry about anything else. And it was genuinely good. It was good, and that was the only thing I was worried about was college. I didn't really care about anything else. All I was worried about was college. In fact, in March, I barely saw my friends. I was just working college work. And the only time I was seeing my friends was to help me with college work. I actually wasn't going out at all because I just was constantly working on my college work. It wasn't until after my exhibition I actually went to an Irish furry meet for a crochet class, which is my first little bit of actually me going out and doing something for myself in a month. I just really needed it, and honestly, I'm doing really well. I'm doing really, really good. I'm really enjoying college, and I couldn't say that a few years ago, and I'm really happy that I'm in a place now where I can say that, and where I can be happy doing what I like, doing what I love, and finding something quite niche, but overall, I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it's great. And I now get to introduce people to film, and that's really, really cool. And to be a part of that, and to also bring a uniqueness to it with using my fursuits and stuff. Um, because my lecturers loved it. They thought it was so cool, it was so interesting, and essentially a calling card and of mine, and basically been using it to connect more with the community, and I like that. And overall, I've been doing really, really well. I've been doing really good, and I cannot honestly I can honestly say I'm so happy. Um, you know, being you know in this course and being in my college, because unfortunately, while my first years in college was not great, and it being my dream college, it kind of sucked not being able to enjoy myself. And so this was the first year I was actually able to enjoy myself in my dream college, and that has been absolutely fantastic. Um, so yeah, I've been doing really, really well. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I just need to have a nice positive rant about how much I am actually loving college, despite there being ups and downs. I've been really enjoying college, and also I've been a straight B student for the first time in college. Um, Usually what would bring me down was CCS, which is cultural context studies, which is very boring, which I don't bring up ever. Half the time I'm doodling for class. Um, but that would always bring me down. But no, I've been a straight B student. So I'm still waiting on for some more assessments to come back. So hopefully it's a streak of B's, maybe an A, although I highly doubt that. But yeah, I've rambled on long enough. But yeah, I just needed to have a little discussion about college and stuff. But now that I'm finished, more content's gonna be coming out. I'm gonna be focusing stuff also on my art shop and like commissions and stuff. So if you want to support me, commissioning me is the best way to do so. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Do you say goodbye?